So I think there was also this the freedom from pushing from the I actually talked about that last time. It was more great. But I think overall, I mean, since it was the first and how the things I think all of it. More like moments. Michelle Obama saying, do something. Yeah, I'm Michelle Obama. I'm having a call for action. So I think throughout this, it was the lessons learned.
Like 2 days.
So anyway, how's everything going?
Good. Let me see. I think it's recording automatically.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
I can stop it if you want me to step in, and I'm doing that, and I'm also recording it in case anybody else wants to hear our great thoughts. And Emily, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Emily. I'm a marketing and business affairs associate for the Community Foundation. So for 250, I do a lot of the social media and event work. So yeah, I'll be taking notes today as we share what we're working on.
So I thought maybe Mary will start with you, and we could all introduce ourselves and say what we're doing for 250 so far.
Okay, I'd be happy to start. I'm Maury Forbes with the National Travel Center. We are the folks who helped with the Harriet Tubman Underground Railroad Byway, which has had pops a couple of times now. We are now supporting and creating an Underground Railroad Heritage Interpretive Trail. In fact, two of them, one that centers around Kennett Square and the other one that transits the entire of Chester County. And we are also involved with the Pines, which was awarded a planning grant. And we're now working on the prospect of one that would actually help renovate the inside of the building, which is due September 5th. So really exciting things going on with that.
Okay, Mr. Sheedy?
Yeah, so I am the Kennett Township Historic Commission representative. So,
and your first name is?
Bob.
Bob, okay.
So I work for the Kennett Township Historic Commission, and in our area, we've actually partnered up with a township manager, Allison, which is fantastic, giving us kind of a direct link to the infrastructure side of it all. And we're also going to work very closely in partnership, not with only some of the groups here, but also our borough, which actually our township does envelop. So we've really talked a lot more about how do we coordinate this as a group. We talked about things that could last the whole year. And I have to admit, we've actually taken some of the ideas that have come up on these calls and had some very positive feedback, including working with the libraries and posting. We're going to be working now toward getting a display when somebody comes into our brand new library that will feature all the books that talks about 250 and a promo board for some of the events. And I think I also really enjoy the fact that we're able to coordinate with these so that we are able to look at our calendars and kind of let our residents go from township to township, group to group, and join in all the activities. Because again, it's not just going to be within our own borders, but really a lot of it is just in works. And we are trying to also use this as an opportunity to get a close working relationship with some of our private owners of historic properties, be it homes and other things, so that they can take part in it. And we're going to try to enhance the resources that we offer them in trying to better understand their properties, including their histories.
I think that's great. I hope that you should tie Emily into your events or your events calendar, because we're keeping a central calendar.
Yep.
And encouraging people to do what you're doing, which is it's like the conflict buster, if you will. So that's been great. And I think Emily's been sending out things pretty regularly to all of you, but also to our elected officials to share in their newsletters. So we're promoting it, as well. So thanks. I have to ask you, Bob, what's in back of you? I'm just basically a busybody. Sorry.
I'm in the first floor of our this is my house.
Yeah.
That's a walk-in fireplace, or in 1725, it would have been the kitchen slash. Yeah, so we're in the first floor of my house, which was built in 1725 by Levis, who acquired the property from Pennock. So
That is very
I'm
cool.
located right in the middle of Kennet Township.
Okay, thank you. How about you, Bernard?
Hi, excuse me. I'm Bernie Greenberg from Anselma Mill, and I'm the chairman of the committee involved with the 250th celebration. We've had a couple of meetings. First thing is we've decided to seek collaboration, first with our neighbor, Historic Yellow Springs. So the director there is coming to our next meeting in September, on September 3rd. We're also going to explore collaboration with the Township Historical Commission. Another thing we're working on is we have a bread oven, colonial bread oven that was built for us a couple of years ago. And we've used it rarely because it takes a trained person to use it, and we had to pay somebody. So we're going to explore whether we can have volunteers trained to use this bread oven so that when visitors come to our mill, we can provide them with bread prepared as they did in the colonial days.
That sounds great.
I thought so. We're also looking at working on a timeline. The mill was built in 1747, and it's undergone some changes that reflect what's happened to the country. And we're going to prepare a timeline for visitors to see exactly what went on from 1747 till the present day. We're also exploring ways to display our artifacts, which we have cataloged carefully, but have not displayed many. And also with some new commemorative bags for our flour. We have a lot of enthusiasm, and this is an important event for the mill, and we want to be a strong supporter of our celebration.
I love your collaboration idea, and if things are to be legacy things, I hope the collaboration that we're all enjoying and fostering really outlasts the celebration of 1777, 76, 7, and 8, because I think that it's the way to the future is through these collaborations that we're all sharing and learning from each other.
Well, I hope so also. We're excited about this.
How about you, Lara?
Hi.
Hi.
I don't have anything very new to report. Founding Forward is Founding Forward is working on scaling up our programs. We've just gone through a merger recently, and we're working on our strategic plan to scale up our programs. We would like to have, thousands of participants on campus by the year 2026. So that means doubling our participation rate at least. We're also having some exciting conversations with Rose at the park. I saw that Rose is on here about maybe connecting our property and the park property, but that is in very exploratory stages at the moment and is probably a years long project. So yeah, that's what we are doing over at Founding Forward.
Okay. How about you, Sandra?
Well, hello, I'm Sandy Mollmeyer from Historic Yellow Springs, and as I mentioned, we really are.
Can't hear.
We're looking to expand our collaborations, as you mentioned, and as Bernard mentioned, our director is working with a lot of sites in the area, the Villa Selma, the Springs Library, West Bedford Township itself. So we're going to be interpreting the Philadelphia campaign, and especially military medicine as it relates to the hospital site. We'll be working with the Philadelphia unit of the Herb Society of America, interpreting medicines that were available or researched and developed at our hospital. So we will be doing that with programs, with lectures, and also interpreting it through art exhibitions. So there's that on the drawing board, a lot of outreach, and we're looking forward to working with a lot of other community organizations to interpret our story.
So I got a message from a member of the Philadelphia Unit Herb Society of America, and she's pleased to be assisting at Yellow Springs. I'm just sharing her message. So that sounds really great. I've actually been to your herb sale that you have in the fall.
Oh, great. Oh, it's a full event. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
The garden is beautiful. And the garden is beautiful too. If you haven't been to the interpretive herb, it's just a beautiful site.
I was out there actually last night.
Oh,
for that event that the Chester County Community Foundation had.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So Rick, how about you?
Hi, I'm Rick. Mainly Freemasons, and not much has been happening this past month. We start meeting right at the 1st of September. In the meantime, thank you for posting the one video on the Facebook page.
I saw that.
We Grand Lodge plans to be doing more videos talking about the history. I've been also posting to our page all the events going on, such that the brothers know and can participate. And next, we would like that people who need volunteers, groups that need volunteers, please post on the bulletin board. We're always looking for a way to help out.
Okay. Did you share that link with Emily? The volunteer link? So she can
No. I'm saying on your bulletin board where you have the ideas and all.
Oh, okay.
If you want extra help, just say so there, and I'll say it and pass the word on.
It's a good offer. Okay. How about Stephen? How about you?
I'm putting together a primer of the period of time of the colonial period through the area of different aspects of it. We recently enjoyed the exciting television show coverage of the Olympics, and you saw the medal count, and that was inspiring. But what went on before that? What went on with each of the athletes, and what are their lives like, and what did they endure? To come to that point to win a gold medal or a bronze medal or anything. So the idea is what was going on in the colonial period that was exciting, that worked together with Native Americans, African slaves, colonialists, and what were they doing to contribute toward the Declaration.
And how will you share that?
I hope to put together a booklet. And get that printed so that people get ideas about things like Yellow Springs, talk about the things that are happening. I'm sorry to learn about the covered bridge that was hit with a tree.
I saw that.
But I also the Anselma Mill, Masons, anything that would help contribute to exploring more of what you all do.
I think that's exciting because I think what's going to engage younger people are these stories that you're.
Yeah. Because the athlete medal count, well, that's nice. It's exciting. We did a very good job. But, what went on before that? What went on behind that? I mean, you watch, javelin throwing and weightlifting and, the marathon runs through Paris. I mean, that was exciting to see.
Yeah. How about you, Hank? Can you unmute? Yeah.
I'm unmuted, thank you. So as reported before, I represent Chadsford Township, and we are a neighboring township, and oftentimes people have us in Chester County, not Delaware, so we ask to participate in just the engagement of what's happening around us. Two things of interest. One is we're in the process of commissioning a study for Mother Archie's Cemetery. That's within Chatsford. The cemetery was active for a period of 41 years, and it was exclusively for the African American community. And then in 1932, when Mother Archie passed away, it fell into disrepair. So we're in the process of qualifying the right feasibility study group that can come out and give us an overview of what we need to do to either get it up to code or improve what we have there already. We have 89 bodies that we're told are in the cemetery, but there's not much history beyond that. We've done research and so on and so forth. So it's really exciting because we commissioned a task force to really study this and have this report come back to us and see what we can do going forward. So that's one thing we're working on.
Okay.
And then the second thing is we've started engaging, as others have talked about, other communities and entities around us to act in a supportive role in the 250th celebration. And we'll be able to talk more maybe in the next month about who they might be.
Okay.
Did I
Okay.
see you, Chris?
Did you see the did you see
Sorry.
the chat that we have that the Chadsford the colonial bread making people in Chadsford might be a resource for the bread oven.
That's great.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so how about you, Mark?
Hi, Mark Slough. I'm on the Chester County 250 Commission. I'm chair of the Heritage Sites Legacy Committee. And for those of you who are fairly new, we're working on 4 major themes as part of the 250 and as part of legacy projects. They are the Brandywine Battlefield, the Philadelphia Campaign, which encompasses Brandywine Battlefield, Battle of the Clouds, Paoli, and on up to the Iron region. Iron and Steel is a second theme we're exploring. Agriculture is a third, and A Path to Freedom is our fourth, of which we've been diligently working on. And I'm going to defer to Marie Forbes to update on that. But quickly, Bernard Greenberg from the mill, you know about Sandy. I think it was mentioned Chadsford. She does a bake oven down there. She'd be the contact for that. Do you know Sandy, Bernard?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, contact Chadsford Historical Society. Sandy's the director down there. They have a bake oven. She's baking bread all the time. They have
good.
Chadsford Days coming up in a couple of weeks. She'll be doing it there. They have a bake oven at the I forget one of their properties down there in Route 1, but she's the contact for that, guaranteed. Hank, you mentioned you're working on the cemetery. You know Bertha Jackman?
Yes, we've had many conversations over the last 6 weeks, and she's been a tremendous resource, both for this project and some other conversations we've had.
Yeah, good. So back to the themes that we're working on, aside from Path to Freedom, which I'll let Marie talk about. We had a big meeting about a month ago relative to agriculture with OA, Oxford Area Regional Planning Commission, they want to do a heritage center down that way, and we visited a number of sites. Bernard, the mill is part of the whole agricultural theme.
Good.
So we're trying to fit all the pieces together relative to that. And we're really trying to formulate a larger plan overall for agriculture, but will certainly be included in that. Jay Erb, who's online here, heavily involved in iron and steel. They're very well put together, and I hope to meet with Jim Ziegler from the Iron and Steel Museum upcoming to discuss furthering of that theme. And I think with that, here again, a lot of these discussions involve connections, as I just mentioned, and they're invaluable for putting these connections together, which is part of what 250 is all about. So if Angela, maybe we want to jump to Marie at
Sure.
this point.
No, Marie talked about the
Okay, then I came in late.
Mhm.
I missed that. So
And we can follow back. I was going to ask Rose Fennell from Valley Forge to be our next.
I'm sorry I came in late. I missed
No
Marie.
worries. No worries. Hi, Rose.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, move my screen, so I'm kind of looking at you.
How you doing with the covered bridge down there?
So as I just wrote to somebody, PennDOT's bridge, PennDOT's road, our tree, now theirs. So, but they've been extremely responsive, and it's gotten quite a bit of attention, and it's going to be an inconvenience for a while, but again, PennDOT has been extremely responsive and getting there with the downed wires and so forth. So we're there to provide them any support they need. Just the biggest changes, I think, since the last time I spoke with this group. And so, as you all know, we at Valley Forge have been identified as one of the gateways for the Philadelphia campaign commemoration. In addition, I'm the superintendent at Hopewell Furnace, which has been identified as a gateway for the iron and steel theme. At Valley Forge, one of the biggest things that's happened in the last month or so, thanks to Jackie Spears, frankly, is we are getting ready to enter into a relationship with the United States Army. And Valley Forge is being billed as the crucible that forged the modern day Army. And so we're looking forward to extending our period of significance beyond the Philadelphia campaign and helping the Army celebrate their 250th birthday starting in June of 2025.
That is so exciting.
So we're very excited about it. The idea would be is that we would provide an area of the park where they could have regular programming, tattoos, drills, parades, anything, pinning ceremonies, anything they might be interested in. And so we're calling it a homecoming for the United States Army. So we're super excited about that. That'll start in 2025, take us right into 2026, where we've talked to you all about the houses of declaration. So wanting to do, getting together with folks to talk about what that means. One idea that we've had recently is that, we've been pushing this idea of having various venues read out loud the Declaration of Independence. And we thought it might be good to front load that sometime earlier in 2026 with some sort of symposia around understanding and reading the Declaration of Independence. And possibly someone on this call recommended to me, and I have been reading a book, I'm looking over my shoulder, called Our Declaration, a reading of the Declaration of Independence.
Right.
And so I've talked to a few organizations that we work with about holding some speaker series and, like I say, symposia, that's something with a little more of a framework around it so we can have significant conversations around reading and understanding the Declaration of Independence. As I've mentioned to people, it's quite a document and, not for the faint-hearted. And so it may be a good idea to provide people some tools and resources around understanding the document in its historical context, but also what its significance can mean today. And so that's something that we're looking at doing.
Well, we should just, I wanted to note to the libraries connection people that you should ask the library if they can have that book. I think Rob Williams said that Chester County Community Libraries only has 2 copies for the whole system. So we're see if we can get that book accessible. I also, Rose inspired me to revisit the Declaration of Independence, and so I listened to it. Most podcast platforms have a reading of it, and it's really different when you hear it as opposed to reading it as well.
Mhm.
Okay,
Thank
sorry,
you.
Rose.
No, go ahead.
No, that's what I was going to say, is that I
Oh,
think that just a podcast platform and maybe a link to such a podcast would be helpful on our resource page, Emily.
yeah, that's a really good idea, is having it in my ear versus reading it, I think will give me a different relationship. So it's been interesting, my own relationship around the Declaration of Independence and its significance and meaning. And so, 25 with the Army, 26 with the Declaration of Independence. And, I'm helping my folks to be laser-like focused, because that's really what 2026 is. It's not about the American Revolution writ large. As far as the marching orders the Park Service has been getting, it really is about July 4th, 2026. And July 4th, 2026 is all about the Declaration of Independence. And so I've decided to have us embrace that mission and really laser-like focus on that particular founding document. And then the fun starts in 2027, where we become part parcel of this group in the Philadelphia campaign. So we're super excited about that. I'm actually this morning was working on a memo that I'm giving to our Washington office to get permission to wear some kind of commemorative or campaign pin on our official uniforms during this period of significance. And I thought that might be fun for my employees and our folks to sort of instill a sense of pride, but also, ask me about the Philadelphia campaign kind of a thing. So we're working on a logo, something that we can wear to augment our uniforms for 2027 through 2028. So, and then I think the other thing I want to share with this group from Chester County is also being very mindful that I'm having similar conversations. I've noticed that Montgomery County is in a different place in terms of commemorative activities, and also with Hopewell Furnace, I have, in addition to Chester County, I'm working with Berks County. And so trying to keep up with where everybody is and meeting people where they are has been a little bit of a challenge, but so that's the other thing I'm trying to be more cognizant of, is making sure that the park units, because we straddle different townships and different counties, making sure that we're keeping our partners in the loop as to what we're doing with other partners. So that communication piece has been really important lately.
Oh, great. How about you, Jay?
Could I comment on
Oh,
Rose
sure,
for a
sure.
second? Rose Marksloff here. We've met before. As you know, I'm heading up the Heritage Sites Legacy Committee. So what you said is fantastic. You had mentioned that Valley Forge was identified as a gateway center for the Philadelphia campaign, which indeed it is. We are still working in developing our overall concept of heritage sites, gateway centers. As I think you know, Brandywine Battlefield Park is a gateway center too. And we look at Valley Forge as bookends with Brandywine. And I think it's also important that you noted that we have adjoining counties and townships that are and need to be inclusive in the Philadelphia campaign other than Chester County. So here again, it's a legacy project, and we're doing what we can certainly for the 250th, but our goal is, in the long run to develop this long range tourism tour that encompasses Chester County, plus all the Philadelphia campaign. Rob Williams has been talking to Valley Forge Alliance. I guess, have you yourself talked to anybody specific to Valley Forge becoming a gateway? What that might involve going forward as far as possible developing an interpretation of that, a better interpretation of that. So that's a question to you.
So certainly internally, I've let my regional office know. My regional office is located in Philadelphia. Just wanted to let them know so that they weren't unnecessarily alarmed about what we were committing to. But
Right.
when I read what is expected of a gateway, I was able to look at the staff and say, yeah, we're a gateway.
Yeah.
We have parking, we have bathrooms, we do orientation, I have staff. So I think we meet all the at least minimal requirements of what a gateway is. So we're ready to stand up and be that gateway. Similarly with Hopewell Furnace, and so I'm feeling very confident about our ability to meet the expectations of what a gateway should be. In addition to that, I've let our partners internally know. So I mentioned it with Laura at a meeting we had with Founding Forward. I've also mentioned it to the Washington Memorial Chapel, which is located entirely within the boundary of Valley Forge National Historical Park, even though it's a separate land holding interest. Another meeting we had, Jackie Spears was able to join us a few weeks ago when I had a meeting with the Montgomery County Tourism Board. They're a regular partner of ours. They are located in our visitor center. And so it was incumbent upon me to make sure that the Montgomery County tourism folks knew that we were going to be standing up as a gateway for this. They're excited about it, but of course, being in Montgomery County, they needed to catch up with what was going with Chester County. And so Jackie did a really good presentation, kind of laying out the bones of what the thinking has been for the past several years with this planning group. And so that was a big watch out for me because there was a little bit of shock and awe. I have to admit, when I talked to some of my partners outside of Chester County, you guys are so far ahead of so many others. And so my tourism partner in Montgomery County had a meeting with our some of our heritage partners. And so that would be TRAP, Pottsgrove Manor, I forget some of the other organizations that actually have the resources, the historic resources, to bring them up to speed with what you all are doing. And so I think there's a meeting on Monday with the Montgomery County Heritage interpretive, whatever they are, sites. David Blackburn is on this call. He may know more about this. So anyway, so like I say, for me, my visual image is I feel like I'm kind of driving a wagon train and my horses are not pulling at the same speed and I don't want to topple over. And so I'm trying to get all this horsepower to kind of be more in sync to keep us moving forward. But right now, I've got someone pulling left and some pulling right and some wanting to take on some feed. So just
And
keeping
maybe-
up with all of that and trying to keep things moving forward is a large part of what my job is right now.
And Rose, and maybe that was
Fantastic.
the impetus for Montgomery and Delaware counties reaching out to Karen and I to talk with us. And
Yes.
that's going to happen after Labor Day.
Thank you.
So,
Fantastic.
yeah, so we are working on that.
Thank you, Rose. Angela, unfortunately, I have to get off to a dentist appointment.
Lucky
and
you.
sign off. But let's keep the connectivity going.
Yes. I was
Thank
going to
you,
switch
Rose.
to David Blackburn since you can follow on to what Rose was just saying.
Hello, everyone. Nice to hear what's going on, Rose. Thanks for that update. For those of you who don't know me, excuse me, I'm with the Chester County Planning Commission. My official title is Heritage Preservation Coordinator. basically what that translates to, I'm the Historic Preservation Officer for Chester County, as well as kind of the liaison and director of a wide variety of heritage programs going in the county, which includes the wonderful World of America 250 and 26 and 27. One thing just that I wanted to say that's been hit upon by Bernard in talking about the mill at Anselma and Rose is how extraordinarily important partnerships are between entities to execute programs. What I learned yesterday at a historic commission meeting at West Goshen Township is that in 2027, West and East Goshen are looking to coordinate together to create something in 2027. Mill at Anselma and Yellow Springs are looking to coordinate together to do something. One of the messages that's been pushed, and Rose and the Park Service couldn't do what they do at Valley Forge and Hopewell without robust partnerships from the community and from other entities. What's great about this call is that the municipalities of Chester County and the organizations of Chester County do not have to think they need to go alone for doing something for their community in 26 and 27. Although we are bound by political boundaries of the county and our municipalities, our stories and our resources go well beyond those. So these are great examples that I'd love to get highlighted to show that you absolutely need and should be working with your neighbors to promote, co-promote, and plan organizations, that you do not have to go through this on your own.
That's the legacy of this.
And I guess to try and add to what Rose is saying, first of all, it was brought to my attention by the director of the Potts Manor, which is in Montgomery County, historic site in Pottstown, is that next week there is a gathering of heritage organizations throughout Montgomery County in Trapp to, I believe it's next Tuesday, to talk about what's going on. So Montgomery County, as Rose said, is kind of a little bit behind in terms of their planning and coordination. I don't know much about the meeting next Tuesday, other than the fact that it is geared and oriented to part of what we've been talking about. Things that Mark Slough said and that Rose said, there's a lot of balls in the air with different projects and different programs. And from the county side, we're trying to corral and coordinate that work in a way that allows the experts and the folks to make connections, but that is coordinated. So one ball doesn't fall or one go too far in the direction of counter to the other. So in places like Valley Forge and Hopewell that span county boundaries, and places like the the 1777 Philadelphia campaign and Iron and Steel that not only span county lines but state lines, one of the things that will continue to be a challenge through 26 or 25 into 26 is trying to ensure that folks are talking with each other, are not getting ahead of each other, and that are allowing and permitting the right lead to move that project forward. I guess in terms of news to report, from from the county side, one of the things we're beginning to do is work internally with other county-facing organizations like the Chester County Archives at the Government Service Center, Chester County Libraries, Chester County Parks and Recreation, or Parks and Preservation, to coordinate within the county, working with each other to promote activities in 26 and 27 that are specifically coming from the county, not just for county employees, but for all of the citizens of Chester County. So we've just begun talking. We've got some ideas, and we hope that they will be added to the array of things that are happening in 26 and 27. One final thing to share, since some of you are actively planning events and activities, is to realize, whether it's 26 or 27, whatever you may be doing for your community, whether it's through an organization or a municipality, be aware that if you're trying to do something on July 4th, 2026, or September 11th, 2027, that there's going to be a heck of a lot of other events happening on those particular days. So just be cognizant of the resources that you want to tap into. May look at your event as low priority, and we'll be focusing on other events that day. For example, if you want to do things on September 10th and 11th, or 9th, 10th and 11th and 12th in 2027, reenactors and other organizations will be doing the same things, but will be very much focused on Chadds Ford, Birmingham Township, Sandy Hollow, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm just sharing that for you to keep in mind, that be cognizant of what you want to do and when you want to do it, and that the resources and the audience you want to connect to may not be available the day you're
Hence, Emily's link to the resources on the Chester County Community Foundation website. I was going to ask Elizabeth to follow on, because I saw that she was giving the thumbs up to your talk, David. So I wanted to hear from her. Elizabeth Dean. Maybe she's not there. Okay. How about Jay?
Good afternoon, everyone. Jay Erb with Chester County Parks and Preservation.
Hey.
A couple things that we're looking at for 26 and 27 is in 26 to do a TEDx. Most of the TED Talk type programs are done in an indoor setting. I would like to maybe try to do something in an outdoor setting.
Wow.
And have it revolve obviously around the events of 26 and 27. This is something
does everyone know what a TEDx is?
No.
Okay, good point. So it stands for Technology, Entertainment, and Design. And they're basically lectures
17 minute
thought-provoking. 17-minute lectures that are thought-provoking. And we would focus on themes that relate to the founding of our country, the founding of industries, the Philadelphia campaign. So all the things that we're working on in this area.
And the X, sorry, can you tell I know a little about this? The X means it's local. So TED is a national thing, and then the TEDx things are local. Sorry,
so
Jen.
It means that you need to work with us. You're obviously a TED fan and knowledgeable about their systems.
I used to do work at the theater in Westchester, the Uptown. And so we did TEDx. We had a TEDx license and did TED Talks.
Okay, well, I've looked on their website and it seems like everything we're looking at, we're meeting their criteria.
Good.
But maybe you and I can chat at a later
Okay.
date about some of the more specific details
Okay.
that we haven't gotten into yet.
I think it's very exciting to have it outside.
I think it'd be a first from what I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 2027, we'd like to do a footsteps of General Washington. And that would be highlighting sites that General Washington visited during the Philadelphia campaign and try to look at those as around the dates that he would have been there. So obviously that wouldn't conflict with anything like the actual Battle of Brandywine on the 11th, but it would be spanning basically the teens and 20s and whatnot of September, and then going into other months, and highlight our partners in those different locations.
Okay.
So anybody has interested in partnering with us for some of those things, please reach out, and we can make these ideas grow.
Good. Well, that is great, Jay. 2 exciting projects for sure.
Thank you. And I look forward to talking to you about some more of the
TEDx. Robbie Healy, how about you?
I'm participating in these as an interested Rotarian. We have so many Rotary clubs in Chester County, and I keep thinking there's a place for Rotarians to be involved. Karen and I are trying to schedule a conversation with some of the district governors that might have the ability to knit this together. But I'm fascinated by everything that's going on, and I don't necessarily want Rotary to do something, but be part of perhaps lots of things, maybe in a supportive way. The Rotarians tend to like to buy stuff and slap plaques on it. I'm not sure there's a thing that deserves a plaque, but we can certainly do some of the on the ground support. So I've agreed to kind of listen in to see if there's a role for us.
Oh, great. Okay, good. Elizabeth, I see you're here. So would you like to add? I thought you might want to follow up on what David was talking about, David Blackburn. You're muted.
In 2017, East Goshen and West Goshen joined together in what we called the separation ceremony, because prior to 1817, East and West Goshen were known as Goshenville. So when this came up, I had said to some people at a 250 meeting, do you know what? We were Goshenville in 1777. So I'm going to go back to East Goshen and see, because we had a wonderful, I don't know if anybody on online saw it, but we had a wonderful celebration for our separation of the 2 townships. So I took a meeting with Kathy Massey, who I think is on right now with us. I took a meeting with Jason Lang, the director of Parks and Rec at East Goshen, earlier last week. And so we sat down and talked about it. He was very interested in doing it. So we're moving forward together, and we're thinking about using both of our parks, like West Goshen, the Friday night, like September the 10th, will be some sort of patriotic movie in the amphitheater. And then the next night will be the celebration in the East Goshen Park, because they have a much larger complex and can get in more food trucks and stuff. So we are moving forward with that, and looking forward to it.
Good.
So co-opting, to me, if you can do that, I mean, I think it's a wonderful thing to do. It keeps people from having to drive around so much. They can see something in one spot for 2 or 3 townships that co-joined.
Love it. Yep. How about Bill Scholl? I guess he's not there. How about you, Cass?
Oh, are we just going around saying what we're doing in preparation?
Yes. Tell who you are, who you're working with, and share what you're doing. I think we're all learning from it.
Yeah. Well, I'm with the Mansion House Foundation at Radley Run, which is part of the campus of Radley Run Country Club. We are independent, but we do work with Bradley Run Country Club because clearly they own the buildings. So our mission is to restore and preserve the historic buildings on the campus and also to provide education about the history of the region. So in terms of the 26 and 27 celebrations, we thought that perhaps we would be doing a walking tour, which we would need to coordinate with the country club. We've done them in the past and they're pretty successful. And also link with anything else the township is doing, Birmingham Township. And we've done that again previously in the past, and that has worked for us. I would say recently our focus has been on 2 applications. One's to be on the National Register, and the second is to be on the underground, as a station on the Underground Railroad.
Okay, wow. Okay, Cast, anything, any help you need on either of those?
With those applications?
Mm-hmm.
I think just I have listed us as working with this organization, with this committee, and I think that's as much as we can do right now. We submitted the initial application for the UGRR, and we'll have a review, an initial review in September, and then a final application in January.
Okay. Great, great. Daniel Campbell, how about you?
Hey, Angela, do you mind if I jump in real quick? Because I'm going to have to jump on
sure, Rose.
to another call. One of the 2 things I forgot to mention, you guys are mentioning September 11th. One of the things I'm recognizing is that September 11th, 2026, of course, is going to be the 25th anniversary of that sad day in 2001. And so we're very cognizant of that. We're just trying to, again, watch our pacing when it comes to commemorating, celebrating, and just, keeping tabs on the emotional temperature of the nation. So wanted to bring that up. And then the other thing I wanted to share with you guys, kind of goofy, but people are super excited about it here. We have a theme and a tag for our commemorative period. We're calling it Retreat to Valley Forge. Starting in 2026. It's all about retreating from the Philadelphia, or what we're calling Philadelphia's campaign, which is the campaign of crazy that's going to be going on in downtown Philly in 2026. And so this idea of retreating to Valley Forge is a place of recreation and renewal and refreshment and so forth. And then, of course, with 2027, 2028, retreat to Valley Forge, where we're going to emphasize the importance of this historic retreat and really talking about retreat as a strategy, even in modern times, for resilience and renewal for people. So just wanted to share that. We're in the process of designing the t-shirt. So if anyone's interested in it as a sales item. So anyway, wanted to mention that before I had to run
Very
off.
clever. I love it.
Thank you very much. All right. Have a great meeting, you guys. Thanks.
Okay. Daniel, you there?
I'm on the,
Yeah.
I live in Westtown Township and I'm on the Historical Commission there. The western end of our township just nips the area of the Brandywine battlefield where the British and Hessians came down from the north after fording the the Brandywine Creek. We've recently started a series of historical lectures taking place at the township building on Saturdays. The next one will be September 7th with Mode talking about Lafayette and his.
I just finished that book.
Yes, I have that too. So I'm also on the board of the Chester County Historic Preservation Network.
Did everyone see the article? I know Emily shared it from the New York Times about Lafayette. Really about the fellow who is the Lafayette interpreter. And it was quite lengthy and very interesting. And it was right after I had finished Bruce's book, so it was interesting.
Yes, I saw that they just began the Lafayette tour up in New York.
Yeah. hmm He started out being Napoleon. I'm just sharing. Yeah. All right. Okay, Joseph, how about you? Joseph?
Oh,
Okay.
sorry about that. Be with you in just a moment. Yes, well, I'm Joseph Antonelli, West Bradford Township. Basically just along getting ideas. I work with Mark Sloff pretty closely. Right now we're planning we're planning a Chester County town tour, I think. Well, we're in the very preliminary stages of the crossing of the west branch of the Brandywine of Hal's approach. So we're trying to think of something down there in Trimblesville. Maybe like we're gathering property owners and things like that, and just little checkpoints. We need to maybe get in touch with some reenactors of sorts. But this was within the conversations at the Brandywine battlefield of, we'd love to have something like that. Maybe not on the day, but have a recording or something of the sorts. We're kicking around ideas now. We're a little bit out. We're shooting for 2027 though.
Okay.
But also just on these calls, getting ideas and seeing what our neighbors are doing and things like that.
Okay. How about Kathleen? How about you? I'm just also going to say in the chat, I'm sharing the connection, the article from the New York Times, so you can see it. Okay. All right. So sorry, Kathleen.
No, I'm sorry. No, I was at the meeting last night where Dave was, Dave had come to our Historic Commission meeting. I'm working with Bonnie with the East and West Goshen.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Pat?
Okay, hi. Okay. I'm from the Birmingham Township Historic and a couple of other organizations, and we're interested in really getting involved. I've been on every month listening and taking notes and seeing where all these people can fit in the township. So we have a lot of ideas. We're mulling things over, and we really want to start to get prepared for 2026.
Okay. Okay. Anybody? Who did I miss? Diane?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm the executive director and founder of Westchester Dance Works. We're a dance company out of Westchester. And we have a production that we are reviving actually for 2025, and we're hoping that we'll have it carry over to 2026. And it is the true story of Rachel Harris, who was a runaway slave who lived in Westchester, was recaptured and then escaped by way of the Underground Railroad. And I have been kind of paying attention to this mission of the 250th celebration, wondering if there's a place for that in this celebration, being that most people of color at that time were enslaved. There needs to be some kind of a representation of that population and the way things were at that time. But yet the story that we do is a courageous story of people working together to help one another. And this was definitely something that was happening at that time, though she was actually in 1820s was when she lived. So I've been just kind of tuning in, trying to see where there's a place for that. In the past, believe it or not, we've danced at Valley Forge for one of their historic presentations. So I don't know if an excerpt from the dance would be appropriate at one of the sites. or whether our production, which will happen on in February the 7th and the 9th of 2025, and we hope to carry it over to 2026. So those are some of the thoughts that I have. So I'm just seeing what other people are doing, what the historic presentations will look like, and all of the representation that's happening. So
I was going to say you should connect your company to Emily. So if you have productions of this that we can promote it on your behalf, etc. Is that appropriate, Emily?
Yes, you can reach out to me. I'll put my email in the chat and we will help you promote it.
Oh, that sounds great. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay. And Marie?
Love to connect with Diane. And also, did I hear Cass say that they're doing an Underground Railroad, something to do with the Underground Railroad?
Yes.
We're the ones who are working on the Path to Freedom with Mark and doing the Underground Railroad Heritage Trail throughout Chester County. I'd love to connect with you as well.
Sure.
That would be wonderful.
Okay, great. I was going to see if Bill or Bob were available, if they wanted to participate. And Erin Ann had said she wasn't able to speak, but we did relay her message about the Herb Society of America.
Angela, we are at time.
Okay.
It is 1. Yeah, I just want to say thank you all for sharing your wonderful ideas this month. Like Angela was saying, if you have any events that you would like us to promote, I put my email, the 250 email, in the chat. Feel free to send them to me and we'll get them promoted on our social media and on our calendar website, or on the website's calendar. And yeah, we look forward to engaging in this conversation next month.
And if you want to connect to each other, Emily, can they contact you? I was thinking about Marie and Diane and Cass.
That would be really helpful. Thank you.
Okay, so you have Emily's information, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you. Thank you. This is wonderful. 20 people on a Friday in August. It says exciting things about our work together. Thank you. Have a lovely weekend.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Have a good weekend.
Thank you. Have a nice weekend.
Bye.